Okay, welcome everyone to ChangeMakerTV. I'm Judy King, and we have the amazing Heather with us today. Frederick Dozier, is that how I pronounce your name, Heather?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So Heather is such an incredible, inspiring lady who I had the pleasure of doing an incredible program together with her, and this is how we came together. And I'm so thrilled to have you on this call today because, wow, what a journey it's been for you. It's been like an absolute transformation, and I think you have an extremely powerful and important story to share. So thank you so much for being on the call, babe.
Thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity, Judy.
You're welcome. So let me tell you a little bit about Heather. She was a bored, stay-at-home housewife with a secret that was kind of eating her soul. She started a spiritual journey, and that was around hiding from the truth and not really realizing that this truth and the deeper truths were actually to be shared in order for her to transform her life. And this is what she's been doing. Wow. Really, really deep, honest communication is what I've been seeing coming out from you, and the impact that that's made on so many. And as you say here, with the courage, commitment, and the intention to lead in love, she's taken her life back in control of her life, gotten closer to her husband and kids, and has created a life for adventures. So she currently shares about her life experiences on Facebook and has plans to do stand-up comedy. Can't wait to see and hear all about that. And is in the middle of developing a future business venture that will include fun, travel, and possibilities to connect in love. So as an incredible mother of three, and a wife, of course, what an incredible journey. Tell us a little bit about how it's been from kind of where you started to where you are today.
Okay. Thank you, Judy. I am nervous. This is my first interview ever, and I am really blessed to have a friend to help bring me into this. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So really my story starts probably throughout all my life. I've always been timid and shy and always withdrawn and held back. And I could say I probably did that in all areas of my life, even in my marriage and everything. So what really happened was a couple of years ago, I got really sick. And then I felt better again. And as I got better, I got bored. And I didn't really take the time to realize this about myself. I was so busy looking for outside validation and really worrying about what other people thought and trying to make sure it looked like I had a good marriage and making sure it looked like I was happy to my husband. And I really wasn't honoring myself by listening to what was going on with my body, what was going on in my head, and communicating that outwards. So what happened was I ended up having an online affair. And when I gave that up, I really didn't know what to do with myself because I had this secret and I was ashamed of it and I was afraid of it, like what would happen if Chad or the world felt. And so I started a spiritual journey. And it was really me running from the truth, trying to find something. And through the journey, I've been able to be open, share, become vulnerable, and create stronger relationships with my husband and the marriage by really being honest.
Wow. Powerful.
And even being honest with him about the affair, I still wasn't honest that I was bored. It took me a while to even realize that. It was like really back the onion to get to
that. Totally.
But it's uh, it's still tender to share.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Being confident and able to share that is very, very powerful. And actually, a lot of people need to hear it, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are going through the same thing, and quite possibly in the depths of feeling shame and feeling embarrassed about, the truth being heard. And yeah, it's very, very common out there.
And that's what I came to realize. Like, if I can grow, because like what really happened is I saw someone else and they were open and shared their story, and that helped motivate me to go forth and try to do this with Chad.
Yep.
I don't know if I would have done it on my own, to be very honest. It took seeing other people lead.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Which is exactly, what I'm saying. For you to share it, for you to do it. And the way that you're sharing your story is very, very inspiring to other people. And it does help kind of give people that extra push or that belief in themselves that they could do it as well.
Thank you, Judy.
Yeah, I really acknowledge you. It's not easy. It's much easier to bury it, right, and keep it covered up and not deal with it and not face all of those emotions that we face when we're actually opening ourselves up, being vulnerable, and being really truthful with ourselves and our partner.
Thank you. I've shared it on Facebook by written posts, but I've never actually, and like with personal friends, but this is the first time, I guess, publicly.
Yeah. Wow, big stuff. Really, really humbled also that you're willing to share that in this space with us. Again, so just, I know from knowing you that you're doing that because, as hard as what it is, to help other people and to inspire other people, right?
Yes. And that's what happened is, like, I noticed that, and then I'm noticing other things in my life because I cleaned up communication with him. So now I'm trying to widen my net of opening up and cleaning up communication and building a stronger relationship with the people in my life. And I'm in my Facebook, I try to really be open and honest and share how I go about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I stumble and some days are better than others, but on the most part, I'm learning to really see how the world's presenting itself to me and what kind of message is sending to me, and how I can try to take that message and apply it and then share it.
Yep. Wonderful. So when you started to rebuild this relationship with Chad, what was it that you, I guess there's a few kind of points I'd like to ask you, but there was obviously the fear of, the shame and so forth that was there, as well as being inspired by other people. What was it that helped you to really kind of take that first step and have the conversation?
I saw a video by Hinari and Kate O'Brien where they showed about their relationship. And honestly, within 24 hours, I had a moment where we had some alone time, and I knew that if I didn't do it then, I probably would never do it.
Yeah.
And so at that time, I realized he could have left me. I realized it was his choice on how he took the information. But to be honest, I couldn't live with the lie anymore. It was just too, it was creating a distance between us, even though no matter what I was doing to try to get us closer, this untruth, this dishonesty was always sitting in the back of my head.
Yeah. So the whole saying of the truth will set you free Is that
Yeah.
how you feel now? That's been able to reconnect that relationship. Obviously, you guys are still rebuilding and so forth, but has that been true for you?
Yes. I truly do believe that. Like, by saying the truth, he got to take it the way he wanted, and it was not an instant. I mean, when I came clean, it was about a year ago, and it was a good 8 months of not daily, but maybe processing in chunks.
Yeah.
You know?
So
And
kind of like a journey like this, some good days, bad days.
yes.
Yeah.
But now there's so much deeper honesty, and like I feel like there's nothing I can't tell him now. And I hope he feels that same way with me. And so, and that's it, is we're really learning to explore and get to the root things. Like, I'll say, hey, it's been a while, we need to add some joy in our life or do something exciting, or yeah. So and we've just really opened up and talked about a whole new realm. We've moved since then, changed the whole way we view life.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about the move. This is
Oh,
exciting. Tell us a bit more.
so we had a just over 2 acres, 3,400 square foot house, and it was beautiful, and in a quaint little bedroom community that was really a sweet community. And for us, we just wanted to change it up, and so we really downsized, gave away pretty much everything we owned, and just took a van full of stuff, the kids and the dog, and went, and we're just outside of Atlanta right now, in a little apartment, because what we want to do is really travel and see the world. So we want to unload the stress of taking care of a house, unload the stress of upkeep, and just simplify as much as possible.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's incredible. So where is the adventures going to take you in terms of travel? Do you know yet, or is it kind of you'll go where you go and you'll end up where you end up, or?
This summer, we're just staying local. So like, we've been doing Atlanta. We're going to Asheville this weekend. We did a boat in a lake last weekend. So every Wednesday, we're kind of like, okay, where we're going to go this weekend. We have plans to do a couple weeks in Bali in October. In December, we're going to New Zealand with the whole family. Bali's just me and him, but the whole family. And then currently we're thinking of India or somewhere in the spring. That's our goal, is to try to get somewhere worldwide every quarter, and then just do some local sightseeing around here until in the in-between.
Awesome. And so you've got, your three girls, and tell us a little bit about how this journey's impacted them, this journey of growth and spiritual journey that you've been on. What has it done for them?
That's beautiful, Judy. Thank you for including. To be honest, my oldest had a breakdown yesterday. But even her, we were at the eye doctor, and all of a sudden she felt homesick, and she couldn't explain what was going on, and just kind of had a big meltdown. And then after about 5 minutes, she's like, I'm homesick. And as soon as she said that, it seemed like everything melted away and she was fine. And but for the most part, they're very happy. They are enjoying seeing the world, seeing different people. But there are those wobbles in those moments.
Yeah.
They had a lot of excitement picking out their own room and their own kind of bedding. And I'm getting a lot more hugs. And that is what's the most precious thing to me, is them coming to me for a hug instead of me asking for one.
Yeah. So you've noticed then, obviously, through saying that there's been a deeper connection with you and your girls through this whole experience of you kind of flourishing and you know, peeling back those layers of yourself to create as well as a deeper connection with your husband, also with your girls.
That was something in the journey that we took together, or we took together. There was a lot of moments where I had some realizations of how I was impacting my loved ones, and I realized what a strong, forceful, dominating personality I have, and how I was actually stunting them, not consciously, but just because of the way I was. And now I'm consciously trying to allow them to express themselves and give them more freedom and allow them to show up as they wish and not control them.
That's awesome. And a good point in that a lot of the things that we do are unconscious. So we don't consciously, you know, on purpose, act in a certain way and behave the way that we do. All of that's patterning. You know, all of that's what we've learned to do as a child or, you know, growing up. So being able to bring that out into the consciousness, into awareness is really the first step for then being able to take full accountability and responsibility for our own actions, right?
Yes. And that's my hope, is to rise up and be all that I can be in this world for myself, but also so that they can see and they can do it in their own style and in their own way. And
perfect.
Take what they need to in their life.
Yeah, great. So what is it that inspires you?
What inspires me, you know what, is other people. People like you, everyone. I feel like when we meet each other and are willing to really listen to one another, that is when I'm inspired. And so I realized for so much of my life, I was just trying to show others a personality, a facet of myself, and was so busy trying to show and look good that I wasn't actually seeing them because I was so focused on that. So now that I've kind of started letting my guard down and not worrying about me, seeing them as what's really inspiring me.
Yeah.
And
Great. And you say that you were always very worried about what other people thought. Yeah. And I think this is also something that's very, very common out there in, you know, in the world. And very worried, very concerned, all of this around what people are going to think of them and so forth. How have you been able to get through that? How have you been able to just be so truthful and so honest and just kind of put yourself out there with a really strong backbone?
well, to be honest, that strong backbone was not always there. Before you were so kind, because I was before the meeting, I was telling you how I was nervous, and you were like, turn that into excitement. And I'm like, thank you, Judy, for helping. So that's it. I'm not always strong, and for me, that's where it took a long time to realize that I don't always have to be strong, and that when I actually admit to my weaknesses, it kind of falls to the side and allows the strong to come back without a fake strong, just kind of a natural rebirth each time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I can't remember your question.
Yeah, it's just about a lot of people out there are thinking that or in fear of what other people will think. Yeah.
Oh.
So how you've been able to kind of get through that?
You know, it always is an element in the background, I think.
Yeah.
But for me, telling Chad my deepest, darkest secret, and him still being able to accept me.
Yeah.
Was a big, if my husband can accept that dark truth, then why should I care what other people think?
Yep.
But to be honest, it was me really accepting it within myself.
Yeah.
I know I did try to really look good, look sexy, be a badass, try to appear strong, and I'm noticing a more inner peace the more I just am more open and just honest, and then allowing what people to think.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mentioned to you earlier as well. I was having a conversation last night with a friend that's going through the same thing as you. And this is the thing that came up as well, just not wanting to accept that side. Yeah? Like rejecting that side of who we are and the things that we've done that to others may seem and appear to be wrong or not the way of doing it. When we can let that go and fully accept ourselves, who we are, and that we aren't perfect, that we're human and we all fuck up every now and again, right? It is a beautiful thing. And it sounds like that's what had to happen for you.
Yeah, I was very right, wrong based throughout my whole life, and it still creeps up, and I have to acknowledge it and try to push it to the side. But embracing the fuck ups.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I mean, it sounds so counterintuitive, and you kind of don't want to get slammed against the wall or hurt, but sometimes those moments are where you have the best growth.
Yeah, definitely. And when we're thinking about what other people will think and all this kind of stuff, that in itself is fear-based, and it's just a story, right?
Yeah.
So for you, I'm sure there was a lot of story that you'd created in your mind around it and how it would kind of roll out and so forth. Did it actually happen that way, or was it?
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah. I was afraid that, A, that Chad would reject me. B, that my friends would think I was a horrible person and they didn't want to be around me anymore. That the community would put a scarlet letter on me. And actually, there have been a couple of breakaways, but minimal. And to be honest, they probably should have gone to the wayside way before that too. But the most part, it's been people very coming to me, even in just private message or something, and saying they admired my truth and that they knew somebody or they had this or, and saying thank you. So
yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely more people that would notice the courage in that and the truth coming out and how powerful that is. It totally overrides the mistakes that we've made. So again, just really acknowledge you. It's so courageous and powerful, and I really hope the people that are watching are getting something out of this, and if they know somebody who's going through this or has been through this, to share this, because I think it's a powerful message for people to hear, that it's never going to work out as you think it is. And the best thing that we can do is to dial into accepting our full self, loving who we are, all the good and the bad, and just coming from truth.
Yes, the honesty, the truth, the keeping in integrity, and making sure I follow through with things or admit when I don't follow through with things. And that was something being drilled in both of us.
Exactly. Big shout out to Hanani O'Brien.
It's something I always have to I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said just a big shout out to Hanani O'Brien for the great teachings that he gave us.
Yes, the love and the support, and also the honest, brutal truth. Because really, that's where you just need somebody that will be brutally honest with you
Yeah,
sometimes.
totally. So along this journey, what's been your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge is actually today and going forward. uh, I play it small and have considered myself not worthy. That I don't matter, my voice doesn't matter, and being pushed, called forth to share my story, to give a voice, and I really don't think you realize, Judy, how much I appreciate you helping me with that hand for the start of my journey in this.
Oh, I'm so happy to be able to be here to do this with you and yeah, to support you through this. And like I said, it's just you do have an incredible message and your voice is so important. So again, so thankful. Takes so much courage. Yeah, so much respect for you.
Fear or unworthiness, but
Yeah,
breaking through this hurdle is what's the hardest right now, I think.
yeah, that's great.
Maybe
And
because it's right in front of me. I don't.
yeah. That's good. And you know, I think for the people out there that are watching it, it's Heather is such an inspiration around that. So even though fear is present, even though it's something she probably didn't want to do, she's doing it anyway. It's about doing those small things on a daily basis, stretching our comfort zone, and that's where the breakthroughs and the success happens.
Yep. And that's part of the stand-up comedy too.
Good.
If you can spend 5 minutes on stage with people that are willing to jekyll or jeer at you, I think that I can maybe accomplish some good out there.
Yeah, you can do anything.
I'm trying to push boundaries with myself. Stretch.
Yeah, smash through those boundaries.
And have fun doing it. That's
of course.
I realize how much I made things hard in life.
Yeah.
And even like with the affair, it would have been so much easier to just admit that I was bored and try to spice things up. And no, I have to pick the harder routes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If it's not hard, it's not worth it, you know. you won't get the learning if it's easy, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So embracing the hard, but also willing to allow ease into life too.
Yeah. Great. Because it doesn't have to be hard. Sometimes we create the hard, we create the drama.
Yes.
At the unconscious level. Yeah.
Or maybe refocusing it to a better hard, you know, making better choices.
Yep, definitely.
Like stretching my boundaries with you. Getting on here.
And so, and you said that you're creating or you've already created a Facebook group. What's the message behind that? What has inspired you to create this, and how are you helping people?
My Facebook group, honestly, it's fallen off a little bit. I've been busy and not as active in it as I should be. So thank you for the reminder. I will get on. But in there, I am just trying to share myself and allow others to share themselves. I feel like when you got a little bit more of a private setting, people are more conducive to maybe sharing, and especially sometimes it's easier to share with a stranger than it is with people you know. And so it's only about 50 people. I wanted to keep it small, and it's a wide variety of people throughout my life that know me in various ways.
Yep.
And so some may overlap a little bit, or some may not know anybody in there, and it just gives them a forum to use their voice if they want to.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Very, very important to have the support have a space like that that is safe to share those things, and be supported through the journey of whatever it is that we're going through, right? So that's fantastic. And those people that are on here, go and check out Heather's. What's the name of your page?
Actually, if they want to get on if they want to friend me on Facebook, it's Heather Frederick Dozier. My Facebook group is a small private one, and it's Courageous Conversations with Heather. But they'll have to go through me to get to it.
Right. Yeah. So you need to be friends with you first, and then they can kind of request to get into the Courageous Conversations page.
Yes. And I take stray puppies. But really, I do love getting requests and just getting to meet other people. So people that see this, and if they connect with me, please reach out.
Yeah, you've got such incredible, powerful posts. So definitely connect with Heather. She's incredible with what she shares, and very, very insightful and powerful to learn from. So make sure you go and add her as a friend. And Heather, tell us let's finish off with something that a little piece of gold, little nugget, something that you've learned, something that's been the most powerful kind of learning or message that you've got that you'd like to share, people going through their own challenge perhaps around this kind of situation in marriage. Some advice for them.
I'm thinking.
Would you tell someone going through something like what you've been through?
To honor themselves, really. If you're hiding something and it's just really polluting your environment and your mind, and you just got to take the time to clean it up. It's not going to go away until you finally face the boogeyman. And the boogeyman isn't as scary. It's just your own self, and you having the confidence to stand up for yourself.
Great. I love that. That's beautiful, and definitely second that. Honor yourself. Yeah, very powerful words. Thank you so much, Heather. It's been such a pleasure and so much fun.
You do make it fun, Judy. It's always a pure delight. You have a wonderful, beautiful smile, and you have you make it a beautiful ease with people.
Thank you.
I imagine the coaching sessions, the flourish people around you.
Thank you so much. Again, acknowledging you for your courageous conversation that you've just had today. Really walking the talk, and putting yourself out there and doing it, not just telling people to do it, but actually doing it yourself. That's what a true leader is, and the leader you definitely are. So again, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story.
Love you, Judy. Thank you. I
love
really
you.